Good evening. I'm John Lentz, City and State's Albany Bureau Chief, joined by State Senator Diane Savino. How are you doing this evening?
Fine, John. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us. And you are once again on our Albany 100 Power List.
Yes, I am. I'm not sure who put the list together.
It was a staff effort. But you're one of the important figures within the Independent Democratic Conference. The coalition is held together. As my boss, Morgan Peckman, was just talking with Senator Klein, there's a lot of support for this coalition. There's a poll out recently. What was your reaction to that poll, the support for the coalition?
I really was not surprised because, I hear it in my daily goings about in my district. People are tired of the bitter partisanship that has gripped, Albany for a long time, and certainly what has gripped Washington. We have a Congress that can't seem to get anything done. We have a United States Congress and a U.S. Senate that seems to be not just at war with each other, but at war with the president, and it's having a real direct effect on the American people. So people are tired of that. So when they see legislators willing to work together, they respond to that in a positive way. In addition, on Staten Island, we have a unique setup. There are only 6 state elected officials. We're a small borough, although we are, by the state standards, we would be the second largest city if we were a city in and of ourselves. But we have 6 state legislators. We have 3 city council people. We have 1 member of Congress who's under a cloud right now, and a borough president. We come from both Democrat and Republican parties, conservative leaning in some members, liberal leaning in others. And yet we still manage to set aside our differences and work together for the good of the borough. And I think people like that. And that's really what the IDC is about, setting aside the big issues that you can't agree on, working on the things that you can, because at the end of the day, those big overarching issues that define the two parties are not something that we deal with on a regular basis.
Sure, right. No, I've always been struck by that in Staten Island, the camaraderie you have. You have Assemblywoman Nicole Maliotakis, right, and you two seem to get along.
Yeah, we're actually personal friends,
right?
And neighbors.
It's impressive to see that.
Well, I think that's important. We're not supposed to be enemies. We can disagree without being disagreeable. That's something that seems to have been lost in government over the past decade, and I think it has affected the way that we're able to deliver for our constituents. And as a result of it, the American people in general are suffering.
Sure, right. And you alluded to Congressman Michael Grimm, who represents Staten Island, part of Brooklyn. Any reaction to the news recently over the weekend?
And certainly, it's disappointing. It is a very serious development for the congressman. This cloud has been hanging over his head for the better part of 2 years now. There are those who think that this is purely a vendetta. I doubt it. It would be a hell of a conspiracy. 3 levels of government, including the Israelis, are out to get him. I don't think so. But it is unfortunately a distraction for the people of Staten Island, and one that we can't afford. Sadly for us, Michael Grimm has made us a subject of national attention more than once, and none of it has ever been good. I don't wish any ill will on him. He's entitled to his day in court. But I do think it's time for Staten Island to go in a different direction, which is why I'm supporting Dominic Recchia to be his replacement in the Congress.
Sure. And one last question, shifting from politics to policy. You've pushed on medical marijuana for a while now. I understand Liz Kruger will be holding a hearing on marijuana in general.
Right.
What do you expect we'll see this year on that front?
Well, there's no doubt that the state is ready for medical marijuana. The polling supports it. The numbers of members of the legislature in both houses who are willing to support it indicate clearly that we are at a point in time where New York should move forward with a medical marijuana statute that's tightly regulated, that protects the rights of patients to have access to another treatment that will benefit them, and that provide the state with a significant amount of revenue. Whether or not we're ready for recreational marijuana is a different issue. I myself don't think so. We like to say, a progressive state on a lot of things. In some instances we lead, in some instances we follow. But on drug policy, New York has never been progressive. And I always remind people it's only 4 years ago that we repealed the most draconian drug laws in the nation, the Rockefeller drug laws. So we're a little behind on the bell curve on this. In addition, we're kind of comparing ourselves to Colorado and other states realized it. But remember, Colorado legalized medical marijuana in 2000, and then by a public referendum, and then they amended it in 2006. But it took 14 years to get to legalizing marijuana for recreational use. So we're a bit of ways from that.
Sure, right. And then I have to note, this is our Albany Power 100 event. You came in at 57 this year. Slight improvement from 60 a year ago. So congratulations, Senator.
Thank you.
And with that, I think we'll close and bring on another guest. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, John.